In this episode of Member Moments, I'm visiting Grampa's farm. It's a great place to visit and a great place to show your kids or grandkids what farm life is all about.
Grampa's farm was started by my dad, Jim Sievert, and he knew that when kids in the olden days would often have a grandpa or an uncle whose farm they could go to visit to have fun, play in the haymow, and learn about where food comes from, learn about some good hard work, and things like that. And it was important to him. He thought that kids have a place where they can still learn those things. And so he wanted to open Grampa's farm. Kids can come and learn things about agriculture and have some good fun. I think even in a rural area, there's so much more to learn, even about how to milk a cow and when a cow gives milk and a lot of other things that people don't realize they didn't know. So actually this farm did start out as a dairy farm. We milked cows here, but then as that kind of phased out, Dad was interested in deer, so he started a deer farm. And one of his things about having the deer here specifically at Grampa's farm was hoping that it would be a draw for the dads to come and spend time with their kids and their families. My dad just was fascinated with genetics, and so he added in the piebald deer, which is what you see there with the two different colors, and also the white-tailed deer that is just the white. So it's actually a different genetics. It's not albino. There are not any deer here anymore as far as out in the field or at the farm, but we do have the deer mounts as displays. Another cool thing that I see dads definitely being drawn to is we have a car that is from an old car that they get to see, and it's neat to reminisce about that. Yeah. The kids love to come here and they get to do laundry by hand and learn about how they used to do laundry in the olden days. So they get to soap up the washboard, we've got some towels, they wash them up, and then they learn how to run them through the wringer, of course, without getting your fingers pinched. And then they take them outside and hang them on the clothesline. I know one of the fun things is watching the kids try to figure out how to use the clothespins. We have a demonstration about how the apple cider press works, and we teach the kids about how it crunches the apples and how the apples get pressed and that it makes cider. And then we have samples for them to try about what apple cider tastes like. It is definitely a special treat. This activity is about kids getting to learn a little bit about this cool machine, which is a corn sheller. So it starts out, they get to take their cob of corn and they put it in the corn sheller, and they get to turn the wheel, and it takes all the kernels off, and then in the end it comes out with the kernels off and you have the corn cob only. And then with that, they get to take it over to this table, and we have lots of options for fabric, and we have somebody here that teaches them how to make a corncob doll. And so just like in Laura Ingalls Wilder, she had a corncob doll. And it's fun to tell kids that this was the favorite toy that kids had. They didn't have all the toys that our kids are used to having these days. No Bitty Babies, no Barbies. It was a corncob doll. So it's a fun piece of history to tell them about, and it's a fun souvenir that they get to take home with them. Grandma Lucinda was my great-grandma. And in Grandma Lucinda's kitchen, kids get to see what an old kitchen setup looked like, the old refrigerator, things like that, old stove. And we also do ice cream demonstrations here. We show them how there was cream and sugar and vanilla that needs to be put in, and then the ice and the salt around the canister, and that how hard they would have to work to get ice cream made, that it was a special treat. They couldn't just go to Culver's or Dairy Queen to get any kind of ice cream, but they had to really work for it. And so after the demonstration, then the kids get a sample of homemade ice cream to try. Another thing we have in the kitchen this year is we have some people from the Farm Bureau that are teaching about butter making. And so they talk about the process, how butter's made, and then give out a sample of butter on a little saltine cracker for kids to try, and it's really tasty. Our red shed, and so at the red shed, it's actually set up to be a fundraising opportunity. We have had different groups come here. The Chaos Youth Group from Bible Presbyterian Church has served here. We've had different organizations that can come and use this as a fundraising opportunity. It was important to my dad that things be affordable, and so the cotton candy is $1, the caramel apple is $2, and you just get a small portion, which is the small treat that you need. We do have more pumpkins for purchase, so our admission is $12 a person, and that includes a free pumpkin from our pumpkin patch with that. Kids 2 and under are free, and veterans with ID are also free. The wagons are there that they get to ride out So they line up and take a wagon out to the pumpkin patch and get to pick their pumpkin. We have bowling, we have some Connect 4, we have giant Jenga, we have the horse hoops, we have a tug of war, some ladder ball, things like that where families can just come and play together. We are open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 till 5. We're open for 4 weekends a year. We've already had 2, so we have 2 weekends left this year that will be open. And when we get here, people can park and come up to the gate. They pay at the gate, and the price includes all activities and a free pumpkin. So there's no extra cost unless somebody wants to get a sweet treat or buy some lunch here. Everything is ready to go. I definitely recommend that people come earlier in the day because you want to have the full day to get to spend time at each activity and for the kids to get the full experience.
Well, that's it for this episode. Make sure you get out and visit Grandpa's farm before it's too late. They're only open a couple more weekends. And as always, thanks for watching.